how to lose as much weight as possible in just 1 month. Hey team, and welcome to this week's episode of The Inspired Show, the show that is dedicated to help you become the best version of yourself, mentally as well as physically. Before we get into this week's episode, if you've not done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It means you stay up to date with every single episode we run every single week, and you can click it just down here, and it's completely free to do so. Make sure you smash a like on this video as well. Hit the share button to share it with somebody that may benefit from it. And don't forget, any big takeaways you get from this episode, let me know in the comments. I always love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Now, in this week's episode, we're talking about how to lose as much weight as possible. Because if you're anything like me, how I was in the past, I would always leave it last minute, coming up to the summer, and then I'd be trying to lose as much weight as possible. So I'm going to go through what I would do, learning from my mistakes in the past, and I can tell you I've made plenty. And I'm going to show you how to set yourself up for success. So the first thing that I would do if I want to lose as much weight as possible is I'd figure out how many calories my body actually needs in order to lose weight. And I know it can be really confusing and really overwhelming to figure out how many calories you need. So I would work that out first and foremost, but I would make sure I work it out correctly. Now I'm going to help you do this. Simply drop me a message on any of my social media pages with the word transformation guide, and I'll send you over my transformation guide completely free, which will help you work out your calories. But more importantly, it'll help you work out sustainable calories. One of the biggest issues with a lot of these online calculators, it just gives us numbers that are way too low. And I know you've tried it in the past and they've probably been too difficult to stick to. You start on Monday, and by the time you get to Friday, you want to eat off your arm. Yeah, they're just too low. So the calculator I put together for you will give you a sustainable amount. So that's the first step I would take if I want to lose as much weight as possible. The second step I would take is I would look at how many steps I'm doing right now and see if I could increase them. For example, if I was currently doing 4,000 steps a day, I would bump them up to maybe 5,000 or 6,000 steps a day, making small increments each week that I could manage and I could maintain. Now, the reason for this is the more you're moving, the more energy you're using, in turn burning more calories, helping you create that bigger calorie deficit. Now, once we've got the food sorted through the calories, we've increased our movement through our daily steps, the next step is I would look at the things that were actually stopping me being consistent. And this is a big one for a lot of people, because eating in a deficit and moving more will get you losing the weight, but if you can't stick to it, they're good for nothing. So really think about what's actually holding you back right now. And I'm going to give you a few examples of this. So for some people, it's going to be things like emotional eating. So when they're feeling stressed, when they're feeling overwhelmed, maybe when boredom's creeping in at the back end of the day, they will turn to food as a way to deal with that. So if that's an issue for you, I would sort that out. For some people, it's poor sleeping patterns, which means they don't get a good night's sleep, or lack of sleep, which means the next day, not only are they really grouchy, but appetite is higher, hunger is higher, and energy is lower, meaning it's going to be difficult to stick to those calories and hit that new movement target. For others, it might be lack of support or accountability. There's nobody in your corner or nobody's pull you up when you're starting to slip. So making sure you've got that accountability and support is super, super important. And then the final step I would take is setting the expectations. And this is something that a lot of people do not do. Now, the title of this video is losing as much weight as possible in a month. Now, realistically, in a month's time, you're going to be looking at anywhere between 2 to 4 pounds. Now, that works out to be 1 to 2 pounds per week. Now, could you lose more than that? Potentially, but I'm guessing you not only want to lose the weight, you want to build upon it and then maintain that loss long term. So if you're setting yourself a target that's even higher, what you're going to have to do in order to achieve that is ram your calories down even lower, increase your steps even higher, which for a lot of people isn't manageable. And that is the cycle a lot of people are stuck in. They're setting these high expectations of wanting to lose as much weight as possible. However, what ends up happening is they start this restrictive approach and they cannot sustain it, which what actually means is they start off maybe the first week of the month okay, but then after that first week of the month, it falls by the wayside. So they actually don't end up losing any weight at all whatsoever. So in the grand scheme of things, 2 to 4 pounds is a lot more per week Adding up over the month up to 4 to 8 pounds is a lot more than you normally do through restrictive dieting and trying to push yourself or put yourself through movement, because that always falls by the wayside. So you've got to keep that in mind. And if you do have a substantial amount of weight to lose, then we need to set expectations that it's probably going to take you more than a month in order to get where you need to be long term. But it all starts off with getting that first month under your belt, then compounding that over time so you can build upon that to see absolutely amazing results. Now, if you follow these steps I've told you today, I guarantee you will get you well on your way to losing your first 4 to 8 pounds, but most importantly, using it as a springboard for long-term success to see even better results. Now, if you need any more help with this, don't forget, drop me that message on any of my social media platforms with the word transformation guide, and I'll send you my transformation guide to help you get started with your calories. There's also to help you work out your steps. There's a tracker in terms of weight, measurements, how you're feeling, and there's a few bits and bobs inside as well to help you with that. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. It's giving you some insight and some different ways of thinking about it. And until next week, don't forget to check out social media pages because we post content every single day.